I was just about ready to finally put the finishing touches on the last part here and go to Starbucks and upload it. One of the few places in town with reliable Wi-Fi. I think I mentioned that in the previous part. But then I remembered there was something else I had to talk about. Movie theaters. I hear people saying that movie theaters they should just be good little dinosaurs and find a nice tar pit to sink into. I don't think so. There's still a lot to be said for movie theaters. I mean, yeah, Blu-rays and DVDs and streaming services are fine if you can afford them. The streaming services, that is. I don't have any streaming services. All I have is my cable. Still gets MTV, and I mean not MTV. Oh, I don't even remember watching MTV. I haven't watched it since I don't know. But anyway, I digress. I meant MeTV. That's really the only thing I watch anymore on Saturdays. Saturday night's my TV time. Get Sven and Star Trek and Buck Rogers and Kolchak and Lost in Space. Assuming I'm still awake enough to watch anything after Sven. I don't know. They show the Star Trek episodes where they replace the ship models with computer graphics, and it just doesn't look right. I'm used to the models, and I do watch Buck Rogers. I never really watched him all that much when he was first on, and if I did watch him, I watched him for Tweaky. I liked Tweaky. He was cool. I have developed an appreciation for Aaron Gray over the years, and Kolchak has always been one of my favorites. Lost in Space. It's kind of funny. I used to feel sorry for Dr. Smith of all people, because he was kind of I knew he was a pain in the rear, but he was also kind of the odd guy out, and being something of an odd guy out myself, I kind of empathized with him. I mean, he would try to help in his own bumbling, fumbling way when he didn't have his head up his rear. But one time I actually sat down. They had restarted the show from the beginning, and I actually pay attention and took notice, and I noticed, yeah, he's really not that great of a person. So my empathy for him has diminished. That show really has not aged very well. It started out serious, but then it got kind of trapped between Star Trek and Batman, trying to appeal to both people who liked Star Trek and Batman, and didn't really end up appealing to either. I don't think. It has not aged well. I mean, yeah, there's Dr. Smith and the robot and Will, and they'll always be a part of pop culture history, but there are better shows out there. But I digress. I mean, those things are fine. And if you like streaming services, if you like Disney Plus or HBO Max or whatever else is out there, Paramount, whatever they've got, that's fine. But there's still something to be said for actually going and seeing a story unfold right before your eyes, big as life on a movie screen. And you can get your drinks and your snacks, and if you're lucky, you might get in one of the fancy theaters with the nice cushy seats, with the cushy reclining seats with the heat option. Feels good on your back. They have opened back up, and I drive past the movie theater down the street, and the parking lot's pretty full. I do enjoy going to the movies. My problem is there's just not that much out there that really grabs me. I mean, there's always stuff I'd like to see, but not very much really gets a hold of me and looks me in the eyes and says, "You have to see me." And I'm just going through my officially licensed TARDIS journal, because I save the receipts. I save the ticket stubs to whatever movie I go to and tape them in here and post my thoughts, write my thoughts. And I was just looking through to see what movies I've seen this past year. Yeah, that's the first movie I saw last year. Freaky. It was the slasher movie take on Freaky Friday, which I thought was a pretty interesting touch. I really don't. There's not very many movies out there I dislike. There's only one I really and truly hate, but that's for another time. If it's done well, I mean, if it's competently made and everybody does the best they can with what they're given, then I'm pretty forgiving. And Freaky was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And a shy, awkward high school girl gets swapped into the body of a serial killer, and she's in the serial killer's body and the killer's in her body, and she's trying to get her body back and stop him from killing her friends. And it was an interesting premise. I enjoyed it. Everybody did good. The girl, Catherine Newton, I believed her as both a shy, awkward high school kid and as a serial killer. Vince Vaughn, who played the killer, he was good as an awkward high school girl, but not so much as a serial killer. I had trouble seeing him as a serial killer because he's Vince Vaughn. He's a funny guy, but he wasn't really all that menacing when he was acting as the killer. But it was a good movie, and I did enjoy it.
Oh, here's what I forgot about this one. Well, I didn't really forget about it. I just forgot I saw it. Willy's Wonderland, a.k.a. the Five Nights at Freddy's movie with Nicolas Cage. Saw this one at the movie theater in Ottawa. That's the only one I was playing at. And I don't go down to Ottawa very much, but I found out I was playing down there, and I said, I'm going to see it. That was a very interesting movie. I really enjoyed that one. And Nicolas Cage, he didn't say a single word throughout the movie. He did not have one line of dialogue whatsoever, and that was just I highly recommend it. I mean, it wasn't really, the premise was creepy, but it wasn't actually scary. But he was hilarious. And the costumes for the animated characters that came to life, they were pretty creepy, especially the Tinkerbell knockoff. She was the freakiest one, I thought. But that was another good one. I enjoyed that one. And yes, I did go to see the new Candyman. And again, I enjoyed it. It held my attention. Some people didn't care for it because it was too woke. It was, to an extent, but that didn't stop me from enjoying it. It was well made and suspenseful. It had an interesting premise to it that basically anybody that is a victim of racial violence can become Candyman. Different types of Candymen based on whatever happened to them. You'd have like a whole army of Candymen. And yes, I admit it, I am curious. I'd like to see them do one where a guy, a shop owner, haunts his neighborhood that was destroyed by BLM protesters. You think they'll ever make one like that? I'd go see it in a heartbeat. But of all these movies that I saw this past year. This one was by far my favorite. An old favorite, the Carrie. The 45th anniversary. They play the older movies at the Louis Joliet Mall at Cinemark. They show like the anniversary showings, and they usually have like an old movie month. Each month they'll show like the older movies. And that's good. They need to be put back on the big screen where they belong, and not just trapped on a TV screen, but being allowed to be big like they once were. It was a thing, because I hadn't seen Carrie in a long time, but I found out they were bringing her back out for the 45th anniversary, and I went to go see it. It was just two of us in the theater, me and this other guy, and they were having trouble getting the movie to work, because apparently now obviously they don't have the big movie reels anymore, and they stream them now, and I guess they're having problems with the streaming. And the manager, she came in and told us what the problem was, and I'm like, you guys stream these movies now? And she's like, yeah. But they got it working again, and they made it up to us. I got a rain check pass, and it's already expired. I was holding, yeah, there we go again. There's not a whole lot out there that I'm really compelled to see. And I was waiting for something that I really and truly wanted to see, and I let this thing expire. Maybe I can go, maybe the next movie I go to, they'll have problems with the streaming, and I'll get another one. And then I'll sit and wait for something I'm actually compelled to see, and then that one will run out, and then I'll go see another one, and they'll have problems with the streaming again, and so on and so forth. Well, didn't cost me anything, no harm, no foul. But that's good that they do things like this. That they look after their patrons, because they need all the patrons they can get. But people seem to be, people want to get out. They want to get out and live their bliss, enjoy life. And I do too. Sometimes it's just hard to find things you actually want to enjoy. It is for me at times. I'm not bored. There's just not really a whole lot. I'm just disinterested. I could have gotten this video out a lot quicker, but I just didn't. I know there are guys out there, there's content creators out there, they could just do it like every week. Bam, 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 bam. And I think, you got to be really, that's great. It's great that you have that type of discipline and dedication to do that. I'm not always so lucky. It's like with the movie theaters. It has to be something that compels me. I have to have something that I want to make a video of, and I'm compelled to make a video of it. I go to, I promote my friends at their book signings and open mic nights. I promote the stuff I order online. I find something good. I like to tell people about it. Sometimes that's not always easy for me, but I do try. And those of you out there who do watch these videos and like them, and some of you even comment on them, I thank you. I thank you for joining me this past year. I've made more videos. I think I've made more videos this past year. I looked it over, and last year was the year I made the most videos. And that's good. Kept me going, kept me occupied. And this year, we'll see what happens. People are always telling me things fall through. But people keep telling me, just keep doing what you've been doing. It's as good advice as any, I suppose. Just keep doing what you've been doing. That's pretty much all any of us could do. You all had a happy new year.
And let's see what this year has in store for us. Things I hope and pray. Thank you.